I want to give you another example. The American maritime industry has been in a very steep decline for the last 4 decades. Following World War II, we had over 1,500 American ships. A decade ago, we had over 200 American ships on the ocean. Our shipyards were making LNG tankers 20 years ago. And they were American flagged. There were American mariners on those ships. Today, we have less than 80 American flagged ships, and we don't make large commercial ships in the United States except on rare occasions. The maritime industry is absolutely critical for national defense. How do you think our men, women, and equipment get to the troubled spots of the world? You don't fly the M1 tank on an airplane, you put it on a ship. You put the trucks on the ship, you put the artillery on a ship. But where are the American ships? Oh, I know. We'll call China, and they'll deliver our goods to the South China Sea. Doubt it. I don't think so. If you're concerned about national security, you'd better be thinking about the American maritime industry. Are you thinking about it? Are you thinking what is really possible if we were to write 16 lines of law this year? It has to do with the export of 2 strategic national resources, oil and natural gas. Now operating in Texas is an LNG, liquefied natural gas facility, exporting American natural gas. They liquefy it, put it on a ship, and off it goes to somewhere in the world, like China. Oh, that's okay. It will take 100 or more LNG tank ships to meet the full export potential of that one facility when it comes fully online. There are 5 other LNG export facilities licensed in the United States, some of which are being built, one here near Maryland, near the Washington Capitol in Maryland. Perhaps 250, 225 new liquefied natural gas tank ships are going to be needed in the next decade or so. Are any of them to be built in America? No, none, unless we pass a piece of legislation that we call Energizing American Shipbuilding. 16 lines of law that say it is a strategic national security issue to be able to build commercial ships in the United States. And the export of an equally strategic national asset, LNG and crude oil, should be on those ships. This is not new policy. When the North Slope of Alaska opened nearly 50 years ago, it was American steel in the pipeline. It was American ships that were taking that crude oil out of Valdez, Alaska. And over the years, we kind of forgot about that. And the law disappeared, and now it's not American ships and not American sailors. We can do this. The Energizing American Shipbuilding piece of legislation will be introduced this week. We have some 20 or more co-authors, and we want to follow what our president says about buying America, build it in America. How many jobs are we talking about? Well over a couple 100,000 in the shipyards. And if that bill passes as we have written it, that would require that the engines, the compressors, the pumps, the anchors, and the electronic equipment be American-made also. We're talking about a whole supply chain throughout most every state and businesses that are as reflective as the American manufacturing sector used to be. There's enormous potential in public policy that actually puts in place laws that build upon the strength of America. strengthening our national security, and at the same time strengthening a critical industry in America, the shipbuilding industry. And of course, American ships will be American flagged with American mariners. This is a good thing for America. This is a very good thing for our national security. It is a very good thing for jobs. And for our taxpayers, what does it mean? Well, these are commercial ships, so no direct. However, if the American shipyards are able to reconstitute their ability to build large commercial vessels, they will also be able to compete for the naval vessels and begin to give America naval construction competition in the shipyards.